I'm sure you've been in this situation before. You are assigned a writing assignment. So you go home and you open up your computer or you take out a piece of paper and you have no idea where to begin. Before too long, panic starts to set in as you continue to stare at that computer screen or that notebook paper and still have no idea what to write. The good news is that there's something that can prevent this from happening, and that is pre-writing. This video will talk about what pre-writing is and how it can benefit you, as well as show you several different ways that you can accomplish pre-writing to help you generate some ideas before you get stuck. So pre-writing is simply what you do before you write. This is when you think about that writing assignment and you generate ideas. Why would you want to take the time to do this? Well, it's simple. Having some ideas first before you write means that when you actually sit down to write, when you open up Microsoft Word or you take out that piece of paper, you are already started. This means you won't have any of that terrible writer's block that creates so much panic. This video will talk about 4 types of pre-writing, and as I talk about them, I will explain what each one is best for, how to do it, and then you can choose the one that you're the most comfortable with. So the 4 types of pre-writing we will discuss are brainstorming, clustering, free writing, and finally, questioning. Okay, so let's get started. The first type of pre-writing we're going to discuss is brainstorming. Brainstorming is when you write down a list of everything you can think of. It really is that simple. Brainstorming can be used in one of 2 different ways. One way is when you have no idea where to even start and you can't even think of a topic. Can also be used when you have a topic, but you need to think of the details. So here's an example of how brainstorming can work when you need to find a topic. Let's say the writing assignment is to tell me about your memorable event. And you have no idea where to start. You can't even think of an event. All you would do in this case is begin making a list of all the different memorable events in your life. So I could simply say having a baby, getting married, graduating from high school, first day of college, first job, a special vacation, and my list could go on and on and on. Hopefully, by the time I'm done brainstorming this list, I will have identified what topic I most want to write about. So brainstorming can help you come up with a topic, but brainstorming can also help you come up with more details to write about a topic. So here's an example of a student who is brainstorming a list for an essay on why I want to become a nurse. As you can see, through this brainstorming activity, this student has quite a few ideas already written down. Here's another example of a student who has brainstormed a business problem. So maybe the assignment here was to write about a problem at your work or campus. And so the problem was that the visitor parking lot is always full by 8 a.m. And so here, this student has come up with many ways to solve that problem. Both of these sample brainstorming lists show us that these students already have several ideas in place. So when they sit down to begin writing their paper, they will already have a good idea of where they should start. The next type of pre-writing we're going to talk about is free writing. Free writing is when you write down everything that comes into your mind in a set amount of time. This is good for both situations that we used brainstorming in, when you don't have a topic at all or you need details about a topic. So here's how free writing works. In free writing, you would set aside a certain amount of time. a short amount of time, let's say 3 to 5 minutes, and then you would just write down everything you can think about. If you can't think of a topic at all, you would free write by writing down anything you can think of that you could possibly write about. You ignore sentence structure, mistakes, punctuation. You just focus on getting the ideas out there. If you're free writing on a topic that you already have, you would focus on details about that topic that you can think of. So let's look at some examples. So here's an example free write of a student whose assigned topic is to write a paper about the environment. That's pretty broad though. There's a lot of ways you could go there. So this student used free writing to try to narrow the topic down into something a little bit more manageable and figure out exactly what about the environment she wanted to say. So here's her free write. I have to write a paper about the environment. I have no idea where to start. I know there are many problems with the environment, but I don't know much about this topic. Maybe I could take a look at my biology book to come up with some ideas. I know my biology professor is also really into the environment, so maybe I could ask for his help. I remember he was talking about hybrid cars in class the other day and how much better those are for the environment. What is a hybrid car? I know it uses some sort of alternative fuel and they are becoming very popular. Maybe that is something I could write about. So for this free writing experience, the student went from, I have no idea what to write about the environment, to possibly identifying a topic, writing about hybrid cars. First, the student thought about how many different topics there were, and then identified 2 resources she could potentially look at to try to find a topic, her biology book and her biology professor. Then, as she started thinking about her biology class, she remembered a conversation about hybrid cars and started thinking about those. And now she's come up with a topic for hybrid cars. Therefore, by using free writing, this student went from feeling overwhelmed and not knowing what to write about to having a topic. The third type of pre-writing that I'm going to show you is clustering. You may have heard this referred to as webbing or mind mapping from other teachers, but all those 3 words mean the same thing. Clustering allows you to organize ideas as you think about them by showing their relationships. This is good for when you have a topic, but you need details. I will show you what this looks like in several examples, and it'll make a lot more sense. This is generally what a cluster looks like. You start with your topic, your main idea in the middle, and then you think of smaller ideas that fit within that topic, and that's what's here in red, connected ideas. Then from there, you think of even finer details that can connect to each of those red ideas, and as you go, you come up with more and more details. The great thing is, though, you see how all these details are related by the lines. Let's look at some examples of student work. Here's a sample cluster on how TV affects kids. So from that topic, this student thought of some main ways that TV affects kids, such as kids don't have as much social interaction when they sit around and watch TV, or they don't get as much exercise. Maybe the student thought about how TV has a lot of advertising and how that makes kids be more materialistic. Also, that TV has poor role models and promotes violence. Then the student thought about some of these topics in a little bit more detail. For example, TV has poor role models. And from there, we have the smaller detail that the criminals are glorified. When it comes to how TV promotes violence, the student thought about more details for that, including that TV shows murders and fighting, and TV depicts violence as normal. This is nicely organized. From here, if a student were to sit down and start writing, she already has an idea as to how this paper would be organized. There might be 1 paragraph on how TV promotes violence, and look, there's already 2 details to go with that. Another paragraph could be about how TV shows poor role models, and we're already off to a good start with 1 detail for that subtopic. Here's another example. This is an example of a cluster about the summer. So the student thought of some major ideas about summer. Summer mornings, a warm breeze, no shoes, energy in the beach. And then from there, the student thought of details about each one of these subtopics. So let's just look at the warm, soothing breeze. This student thought of the scent of lilacs, putting flowers in vases, the curtains blowing, and that fresh air coming in. For energy, the student thought about different things that he might do in the summer to get rid of some energy, like riding a bike or swimming. Student thought about things that happen at the beach, reading the Sunday Times, eating croissants. But what's great about this is when this student goes to sit down and write this essay, he's already off to such a good start. He can have one paragraph about the warm, soothing breeze, and he already has some ideas of what to say. He can have another paragraph about how he spends his energy, the third paragraph about the beach, and so on. So the great thing about clustering is that not only do you generate ideas, but you begin to organize those ideas as you go. The last type of pre-writing we are going to discuss is questioning. Questioning is asking the 6 reporters questions about your topic. So what are these questions? Who, what, where, I can't type today, I'm sorry, when, why, and how. Well, why would you do this? This doesn't seem like any of the other types of pre-writing. We were just thinking of things off the top of our head. This is really good for when you have a topic, but you are struggling mightily with details. This is the pre-writing you should use when you are really, really stuck and you're starting to panic. So here's how this works. You ask these 6 questions, who, what, where, when, why, and how, about your topic, and then you answer them. So let's see an example. So in this example, the topic at hand was media. And so this student applied the who, what, where, when, why, and how questions to media. So who? Well, the student thought of who uses media. I do, students, teachers, parents, everybody uses media. What? Well, what is media? It can be a lot of things. TV, radio, email, newspapers, etc. Where is media? It's almost everywhere. Homes, work, cars, cell phones. When? When was media? Media has been around for a long time, but it seems more important now. Why? Why do we have mass media? Maybe because we have better technology now, or people live far away from their families and can stay in touch. And how? Well, maybe we have media because of better technology inventions, but the student says, I don't know how they all work. Now, this at first doesn't look like a whole lot, but from here, this student could come up with a more specific topic about media, and that to me would be how technology has affected media. So if we look at the answers to the questions and we look for trends, here we have media is in a lot of things. Look at TV, radio, email. Media is almost everywhere, including on your phone. Media is a lot more important now. Why do we have media? Because we have the technology, people can stay in touch. And how is media accomplished? Through technology inventions. So from here, a great topic would be how technology innovations have impacted or increased media. So this student went from, I have no idea what to say about media, to having a topic. So in conclusion, pre-writing can really, really help prevent writer's block. By using pre-writing, you can think about things to say or come up with a topic. If you are really stuck and you can't even think of a topic at all, then you should use brainstorming by making a list of topics you might want to write about, or free writing by just writing down everything that comes into your mind and then going back over your free write to see if a topic has emerged. If you have a topic but you're not really sure what to say about it in your writing, then you can use any of the 4 types of pre-writing. But you can brainstorm by making a list of everything you know or want to know about that topic. You can free write about the topic and just write whatever comes into your mind and then see if a potential more detailed subtopic has emerged from your free write. You can make a cluster to generate some ideas and see how those ideas connect to each other. Or you can use questioning and ask the reporters questions to try to get an idea of where your topic could go. But no matter what method you choose, make sure it's the one that you're the most comfortable with, the one that you like the most, and the one that works best for you. Pre-writing might seem like a little bit of a different thing to do. It might not be something you ever really tried before, but I assure you, if you take the very short amount of time that it takes to do pre-writing, you will start writing those essays so much easier and so much more quickly because you won't be stuck. Wow.